Good evening, everyone. Welcome to News and Views with Bella. I am your host, Bella. Tonight we have a special guest. Our special guest is a motivational speaker and an author. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Lynn Moss, aka Mr. Manifest, um, author, speaker, mentor, and yeah.
Okay. I have a few questions for you. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but what inspired you to become a motivational speaker and an author?
Um, what I went through. That grew up, no father in my life. Um, I was depressed as a child, but grew up in church though, and I wanted more than anything to have a family and to actually um, give my children what I didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and went through some things as part of my story, going through divorce and uh, dreams shattered, and blaming myself, wanting more for my children, and I wanted to make sure that others didn't have to go through what I went through. So it's a way of really um, trying to stop others from certain pitfalls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you share a pivotal moment in your life that led up to the particular path that you're on?
Oh yeah. Um, Divorce. Divorce. So everything I thought was good. Got married. Had my son first. 8 years later, had my daughter, um, and I just wanted a family. But uh, unfaithfulness, forgave multiple times, and I never thought I would forgive for something like that. But one thing that got me was the love of my children and what I wanted for them. So I was willing to sacrifice myself. And if you can change your ways, I'll forgive you just so that they will have what I didn't have. And I was willing to do that. But after 11 years, I ended up having a mini stroke. We ended up going to therapy. She ended up breaking down, told me that I can do better, that I can't fix her.
Oh,
And um, yeah, I didn't know she was molested by her mother's boyfriend and her older sister and a lot of other stuff that happened. So I had to make a decision. Um, and that's when I tell my story, when the decision was made, I found myself in the corner of my house. Like, the pain was so great of divorce for me that I never was suicidal, but there's another side where I just told God to either take the pain away or take me away.
okay.
Yeah.
When you say you didn't have a family, were you adopted or were you the only child?
Oh no, no. Well, I was the only son.
Only son. Okay.
My mom had me at 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I told my mom if you was my daughter, I would whip your hind end. But she had me at 16. Um, I just remember going from place to place. I remember just the poverty, going through the cabinets for food,
Yeah.
hoping the neighbor is, generous. A lot of hardships. So a lot of my childhood, I don't remember. I just remember that I was depressed, and so another thing that was affected was my memory.
Okay.
So
You suppressed a lot of stuff.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I had one of them moments. I had a class. It's a recovery coaching class that I was taking to get my certification. The last class was the hardest one for me because it had like they went over family and how family can affect your recovery or the downfall of it or the upbringing of it.
mm,
And the class, it was intense, so
yeah,
it kind of made me remember a lot of stuff that I suppressed. So I can understand that right there.
yeah,
When you suppress a lot of stuff and you choose not to remember it, certain things are triggered.
And
Yeah.
it was actually after my divorce is when I actually went to get certified as a life coach. And man, the stuff I learned there, I said, man, if I would have known this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
the how to divert the feelings and stuff like that.
yeah, and it's not even about what happened to you, it's how you
Yep.
respond. And that change. I tell children today, they be telling me their story. I'm like, we all have a story,
Mm-hmm.
and just don't blame it on
Yeah.
your lack of or what you didn't have. Regardless of what happened, you still have a choice.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be you just have to be reminded of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the quotes that I remember from the last class was, "Live your life, not your story."
Yes.
That was it for me. I was like, okay, I can
Yes.
pick up and forgive myself and you know live my life, not my story.
Mm. I got a lot of quotes and sayings.
I know you do.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I know you do. I was looking over your stuff. I wanted to go deeper into it because I was trying to find some of your some of the clips where you were speaking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got to send me some of those.
Yes. And so I'm working on that as well. So I also preach for the 11 years I was married. I actually stepped down after my divorce. I felt that the congregation needed.
So you're a minister.
Yes. Yes. I felt that the congregation needed both husband and wife. A lot of the ladies were trying to come to me. Um, you tell them to leave the door open,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But there was a minister that worked up under me that was married, good man and everything. So I spoke with him about just taking over. And I ended up moving to Charlotte. I'm from Hickory, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not far from here.
No, but it's about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. I had custody of my kids. Told the ex, I wouldn't file child support or anything. I just want to make sure I raise my children. That God blessed me with that. Like I prayed for that since I was young, and so I was gonna fight for that. Like so, but we're good, man. We co-parent well, and I talk to people what truly healing is where I pray for even my ex-wife, for her to be prosperous, and because by her being good,
it helps
blesses my children. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a part of forgiveness. You have to really forgive in order to pray for goodness.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Who were some of your influences and mentors?
Jesus.
I figured that
one. When I was young, it was my uncle, my uncle Andy. He's also a minister. I'm actually there with him. He's the preacher where I worship, and I teach the Bible class, and he does the lessons.
So you're getting back to yourself.
Yeah,
that's good.
But I was the only boy. She, my mom, 2 years after me, she got married, had my oldest sister, and then 2 more years had another sister. I was the only boy in the house. So when my uncle came, I always had my bags packed, and he always came with a fistful of change, and he put it in my hand. It took both of my hands to hold it, but I was always excited when he came, and I was ready to go. I was truly blessed by that and by the men of the church, of the congregation, because I believe that every boy needs a father figure. If it's not the biological, somebody.
Yeah.
We used to have the village. Now our village is burnt down. We got to learn how to come back together and bear one another's burdens once again.
Yeah. What daily habits or rituals keep you motivated and focused?
Oh man, you talking about my book now? And I my Manifesting Future, I have a whole story. So it starts with a man going on a journey. Is woke but distracted, and it's how you can know what you want. You can even know how to get it, but for some reason never get there. And it talks about being distracted. And the second chapter is components to vision, the journey. and it's where you finally had enough,
Mm-hmm.
and you then learn what it is to have a vision, starting with that desire. And then it's like a pyramid that's in the book. Starts with desire, and then the next three is what I call it the GPS of manifestation. It's being honest where you are
Mm-hmm.
and write down that on a piece of paper where you are financially, relationships, whatever it is. And then on another sheet of paper, you write down your goals, where you want to be. And so if you don't have nothing in the bank, you want to, let's say you want to have at least 3 months worth, whatever you pay out in 3 months, have that saved, or whatever goals you have financially, relationships, you have on another sheet of paper. And then on that third sheet of paper is what I call the process. What will it take for me to get from where I am to where I want to be? And I call it GPS manifestation because those steps, you plug it in, you get a calendar,
Mm-hmm.
and you put those steps on the calendar and you set the time and date. And then you have a journal where you actually make sure that you check off on that date. It's holding myself accountable. It's staying focused. It's as Habakkuk chapter 2 verses 2, have a vision, write it down, make it plain. So the one that really can run with it, wait for it surely will come. And I tell people when it says make it plain, so that the one that run with it don't even have to be you. It got to be so plain that somebody else can look at what you wrote down and make it happen. That's how plain it has to be.
I'm gonna just go to the next question.
Yeah, because we're gonna start talking about some Bible,
Many people struggle with self doubt. What strategies do you recommend for overcoming it?
Whoa,
Self-doubt.
perception. So I also teach there's more than one world. My definition of world is systems that are put in place with expectations for a particular purpose. So an example, the world of education. When you go to school, they have systems, they have bells, they have class, they have systems, and they have also expectations. This is what we want you to reach, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a purpose for you. The world of business, systems, expectations, purpose. The biggest problem is that we don't have our own system,
Mm-hmm.
our routine.
Yeah.
We don't have our own expectations of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have purpose. So when you step into another world without that,
Mm-hmm.
you become a slave to that. And you start to resent work. You start to resent school because you're meeting other people's expectations.
Yeah, you're not happy.
When I talk to the kids, I'm like, they talk about what their parents want, what their teachers want. What do you want?
Yeah.
And you find out that they want even more than what the parents or the teachers want.
Mm-hmm.
But they lack the confidence because they lack the discipline. And so I teach them that you need to create a routine for yourself. Every morning, the first thing I do is go to my journal,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever I put down the night before, I make sure that that's my focus for that next morning. So my day is already planned before I wake up. And I make sure that at the end of that day, that I'm able to mark those things off that I have set to do.
Okay.
And so it's teaching the kids to really whatever you want, it's yours if you have the discipline, if you can set your own expectations, discipline yourself to have a routine and to know your purpose. And I love dealing with the why, your why or your purpose. But I also teach how to renew the mind
Mm-hmm.
and transform the heart to dominate in life.
I got some questions.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait till
and that's all scripture. Yeah.
How do you personally stay resilient when facing setbacks?
What it says, setback is a setup for a comeback.
All right now.
Listen.
All right.
And it's once again, it's perception.
Yeah.
It's how you see things. It changes everything. It changes your walk. And you have to make sure you have the right thing, that you have the right things pouring into you. So I see things different. When something's real hard, I get excited. because one, I already have a destination. The harder it gets, I know that if I make it through this, it's going to separate me from the masses. The harder it gets, the harder for somebody to follow me. Like I want to be different. That's what drove me to go into entrepreneurship. Like I told my wife, and this is after the divorce. So I'm married again. And when I moved to Charlotte, 2020 hit, the virus and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I had to move back home. I had to move back home to Hickory. And I started dating, and I met my wife. My wife is in Charlotte. So I found myself going back to Charlotte. And when we got married, I didn't even know she was 3 months behind on the mortgage. I didn't know, because she was driving a Mercedes Benz. She had the 5-bedroom house, and it seemed like everything was in order. But find out that then a lot of people are living like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. You know, and so I went into the closet. I prayed, because here it is. I'm still going all the way to Hickory for the job that I worked. I know I wasn't making enough to catch this up.
So you took her on with what she had going on, even though she had this going on before you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. When I said I do.
So y'all were married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We ended up getting married, and then that's when everything was shown to me.
Okay. So she had all this going on before y'all got
Yeah, she
while
had
y'all
all
were
this
dating.
going on. But people ain't gonna tell you their struggles.
No.
Like
No, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was
guys
unveiled.
run from that or feel like you had this before, so you had this problem before me. So why am I trying to,
Yeah, and I think that's what really what set me apart was really growing up in the church. Like even though I didn't have a father, I had the example and I had the teachings, and I just wanted the opportunity to be a husband, to be a father, to like. But what happened was I was overwhelmed. I went to God in prayer. Is when I came out, I was looking through some papers and stuff, and I found out that I had started a cleaning business. I started the legal part, got the EIN and all that stuff, and had left it just because of distraction.
Yeah.
Tried it, and I said, man, when I called, I had to pay. It was 2 years ago. So they said, well, you got to pay about $400, $200 for every renewal with the state and everything. And I had to pray about that, because I'm like, I'm already in the hole. And then to get this started, I would have to invest, what I don't have. But it was all faith. Like I knew that if I didn't do something, I'm in trouble, because more and more just kept getting compiled. So I had to take that chance. This gives me more hope than what's going on. And I took it. Yeah, I took it. I paid that $400. I didn't tell her, because she wouldn't understand why you paying $400 and we already short. That could have went towards the light bill, Yeah. Yeah. And started doing the marketing. And because of the sacrifice I made without telling her, I'm like, I gotta fix this before she finds out.
Yeah.
And I was at work one day, and manager right in front of me. And I got a call, and I knew who it was. Like, and I'm like, I gotta take this. And it was a job I used to have. First thing she asked, you still have a cleaning business? Listen, when I told her about it, I didn't have a cleaning business. I just did the legal part. I never cleaned or nothing, And I said yes. And so setting that up, she was telling me everything I need. I said, yeah, I got that. I ain't have none of that. But I knew by the time I do the walkthrough, I need to get that insurance. And so I started getting that in place. I drawed up a whole contract and everything, and and I was ready. And that was a $3,500 contract. Yeah. Now it was already all the way in Hickory. So I had my family was still in Hickory. Had to hire my two nieces, train them on it while I was in Charlotte. after paying them, I was catching up the mortgage with what was left.
That's yeah.
And they were after so long, they decided to go in house. But by that time, I had stacked up enough to where I said, "Well, I don't want to do the marketing and all that," so I ended up buying the franchise. And next thing you know, I was in the bed with my wife, and I said, one day we're gonna wake up and say, look at each other and say, what do you want to do today? And some months passed, and one day she woke up, and she wasn't even thinking. Like, she woke up that one morning and she said, what do you want to do today? And because in that time, I had quit my job, she had quit her job, and we had people employed to where
you ain't have to work.
Freedom.
Woo.
Freedom.
That's a blessing right there.
Yeah, but then I got depressed after that. I got depressed after that. I thought that's what I wanted. My vision wasn't big enough. I started getting depressed because I need to be doing something. And I started, I met up with this guy named Arcavius. I don't know if you know Arcavius Armstrong, but he has Step Up to Leadership. I started volunteering with him with the young men and started loving that. And then he was doing the speaking as well. Next thing you know.
That's where you can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what are you currently working on now?
Right now, so I also work with Monarch. It's
yeah, I've heard of Monarch.
Okay, mental crisis. So learning the children, because I want to open up a group home. Working on my second book as well. And the main thing I want to do is just motivational speaking. Like, I want to go into the schools. Like, what I want them to understand is that we're all kings and queens. Like, when I was talking about the different worlds, the problem is majority have been dethroned. You don't have control of your life. You're over here wishing when you can create. You're over here wishing and dreaming when you can manifest. That's why I call it, I became Mr. Manifest. I tell people that when I went through the divorce, my mom found me in the corner of my house on the floor, like just thinking everything's over. She came in and she didn't holler at me, nothing. Like, she just said, your kids need you. Man, in your face. Listen. Listen.
She's seen it in your face.
Listen. Those words cut through everything that I was in self-pity. I was woe is me, all of that. It cut through all that, and someone in me stood up. And so the Lynn Moss at that died. The Lynn Moss died, and Mr. Manifest. That's what I'm about. I'm about, like, I don't care what you go through. In here, if you spend enough of time with yourself, if you don't allow all this stuff to distract you, what do you want? Do the research on how to get it, and be honest about where you are. Set that goal and fill in that process and work it. You can have what you want.
So how do you hope your work will impact future generations?
I love to inspire. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. What really got me, I was working with my younger sister on my dad's side, my biological dad's side, Keita. Her and her husband, they had tried to get a house, and she was discouraged and everything. And so I started working with them, and I started showing them the process and the look in people's eyes when hope is reignited.
Yeah.
It's like, there's been times where I was talking to people and they were all down and out, and where I inspired them so much, they didn't even want to finish. They were ready to go. And so I believe that through motivational speaking, I can make the lame walk again. I can make the blind see. I can raise the dead. And it's in a mental, spiritual sense that a lot of people have given up, and I let them know it's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are 3 principles you live by that anyone can apply to their own life?
The first thing is being true to God. And the more you learn about your creator, the more you learn about yourself. Um, Secondly, is not only acknowledging him and learning from him, but executing. There's a lot of people call themselves Christians. Christians supposedly it means Christ-like, but you're not Christ-like. There's some things that you're doing that's contrary to your nature, and it's holding you back from your true potential. The wisdom of the Bible, even if you're not religious, the principles will cause you to live a life beyond your imagination. Because a lot of people, when it says, my people perish because they lack knowledge or wisdom, my marriage perished because I lacked wisdom. It says in Ecclesiastes 2:14, the wise man's eyes are in his head. I didn't know nothing about that right here.
Yeah.
So I found my wife by looking through these eyes. But when you have understanding, there's certain things you won't fall for, or you won't compromise or accept. There's a certain level that you pull yourself up to because there's certain expectations. And so I was using the wrong eyes. And the Bible reveal all that. Because I lack wisdom and knowledge, my family perished. I had to open my eyes to save what was left of my family. When my mom said your kids need you, that the mental eye opened up. And so my physical eye, it seemed like everything is lost. But when she said those words, there's a greater, and I love when it comes to wisdom and faith and what I call insight. You have sight, physical, and then you have insight. Insight, see beyond the wall. Sight, oh well, I gotta turn around. Nah, insight, you learn how to get over it, under it, through it.
So let me ask you something. You're married now. You're
Yes.
currently married. So with going through what you went through with your first wife and the devastation of the ending of it, how did you find your second wife? And were you completely forgiven of the relationship before?
Yes. And a lot of people come to me and they talk about the relationship they had with their ex. And I'm like, you're struggling with that relationship because you haven't healed.
Yeah.
There's like my ex tried to be petty, but I didn't return that pettiness. What I did was when she needed me, even though when I needed her, she wasn't there. And she was like, well, this is your time with the kids. You figure it out kind of thing. When she needed me, I still did it. And I still, like, anytime my kids need me, I don't care if it's her time or I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And whenever a time came where I needed again, because of the example I set, it worked on her conscience to where she changed. Like, you don't fight fire with fire, and I'm not going to allow anybody to change who I am.
Okay.
You're not going to dictate my character. And so regardless of how you treat me, I'm going to remain the same. I don't fight fire with fire. And love wins every time. Yeah.
So where did you find your new wife at?
She's from the Virgin Islands.
Okay. You went far and got that one.
Yeah. Well, she actually been here for the past probably 14, 20 years.
Okay.
When I first met her, she used to get upset with me because I couldn't understand. But now it's like I can understand fluently, and then other people, and I have to repeat, But we started our relationship just talking about God, and we actually had different beliefs, but we believed in the one God. We believed in Jesus as a Son of God. Those things were the same, even though we had different. And we also had to learn how to respect the differences. A lot of people say, well, I'm gonna tell you it's harder, but the main thing for me was I know that I can always go to the scriptures to correct her. And so as long as she's governed by what God says,
Mhm.
whenever she acts out,
Oh Lord
you know,
Jesus.
I can say, hey, look, this is who you claim to be. This is what is expected of you. And if I act out, she can always go there. That's what keeps us on the same page,
Mhm.
you know, and to get ego out of the way. And even as a husband, you know, things change. When we first got married, because I don't take too well to raising your voice and in my face kind of thing. And she's from the island, so she
Yes, definitely.
yeah. And so we had this disagreement about what respect is,
Mhm.
but really that didn't calm down until I had the business change. Like I pay for everything.
So you can raise your voice.
I pay for everything, and I noticed that when that change happened, she's careful about how she speaks to me. I hated that it had to be that way,
I'm not even
but
going to ask you to. So we're gonna leave that where it is because
yeah,
I really, we gonna leave that where it is
got you.
because.
I'm gonna tell you this. One thing, the good thing is I'm under submission to God
Mhm.
and loving my wife. So some men would try to take advantage of that,
Mhm.
my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Some men will try to abuse that.
Mhm.
But the only thing I wanted was the same respect I give.
Okay.
And so with that, I showed her the change. And I'm gonna tell you, it was so bad to where I went to God in prayer that the tables be turned because I had an apartment when I met her. And so I moved into her house. She like, if you don't like the way I do, you can go.
Oh.
But it's hard to tell somebody they can go if they're paying everything.
Yeah. That one right there.
Listen. So that changed everything. When I prayed to God, the tables turned,
Okay.
and I didn't get revenge. I showed mercy, and I became what I wanted.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You answered the question.
Okay.
I think you see my facial expression with that, and I needed a better explanation.
Yeah.
But you definitely did that
Yeah.
one.
We have a lot of sorry women, and we have a lot of sorry men. But I think love prevails.
Yes, it
That
does.
Yeah. So regardless of it, I'm gonna tell you, even with my ex, if she would have said that she wanted to do better, she wanted to change, I would have forgave her.
Okay.
Yeah, divorce I hate,
Okay.
but at the same time, I don't want nobody to try to take advantage of them just because they know I'll forgive them.
Yes.
And so I'm talking about it need to be real.
Mhm.
But I realized how far I would go for my children, and really to give God glory that I'm willing to sacrifice myself.
Yeah, and your happiness.
Nah, not my happiness, because I learned how to be happy regardless of the
Okay.
circumstances. It's all about perception, how you see things. Yeah.
That's leading into my next
All
question.
right.
If someone wants to turn pain into purpose, where should they begin?
Hmm. In my pain is where I found my purpose. Um, so turning pain to purpose, what changed from pain to purpose was uh, the inspiration that was given.
Hmm.
Like the words of my mother changed my pain to my purpose. Sometimes you have to be reminded of your purpose
Yeah.
for your pain to become power. Like the frustration, the everything that I was feeling, the rage, whenever she said those words, it was redirected. And no matter what, I'm going like now I look at everything like I went through the hardest thing ever. Like, what can you throw at me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it
You
made me
got over the
powerful.
yes.
It made me powerful. When you survive things and you find out really what's in you,
Hmm. It kind of
what's
bring out
next?
your supernatural powers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let me tell you, like even in this, and I tell my wife sometimes she said that you're not being romantic, because if you don't act right, I can do fine without you. In fact, I can do better. Like,
Mhm.
listen, there's things I give up because of my love for you. But if you refuse to love me back, baby, I'm good. You know, and that wasn't me before.
Yeah.
Me before, the one that died was I felt that I needed my wife and I needed this and I needed that.
Mhm.
Um, but the one that what I call resurrected, I don't have a lot of tolerance for it. Like I demand respect.
Yeah.
You're not gonna run over me, and I'm good with being alone.
Mhm.
And that when you remind people that you're good being alone, um, then they respect you. You know,
Mhm.
because the only time you get respect is when you respect yourself. And when they see you have a level of respect for yourself,
Mhm.
they're like, man, I better get right or get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can't hold themselves over your
Yeah,
head.
I be telling these girls, don't be running after that man. You better hold your head up high. Like,
Bruh.
yeah.
For someone feeling stuck right now, what's the first small step they can take forward? They can take towards change. Jesus, I can't read my own handwriting.
So the first thing is, like I said before, uh, pull out that sheet of paper, write down what you want. I think that there's one chapter in my book called Mental Matrimony and
Mhm.
Conception. Mental matrimony and conception is when you meet your other half. Um, it's the so I teach, and I love Bob Proctor. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he talks about the male factor and the female factor. That we all both have a male and female factor.
Mhm.
The male factor is your conscious self. The female factor is the subconscious. All right, and so it's also where ideas come from. When your conscious self impregnates the subconscious, then it produces an idea. All right. This idea becomes your baby.
Mhm.
If you nurture that idea, like in entrepreneurship, you nurture it until it starts to produce or it grows up and then it starts to pay you.
Mhm.
And then it's like in a way your children is now taking care of you.
Mhm.
So um, to give birth, you have to have enough of time with yourself to really give birth to anything great. You have to ask yourself, what do I want?
Mhm.
What am I willing to give to get? You got to give up some time. You got to
Mhm.
give up some energy. You got to like, what am I willing to give to get? And when you build this relationship with yourself, and you have to read a book for this because I break down everything.
So it's all in your book.
It's all in my book. And the
Okay.
other half of the book is a journal. It's a 90-day journal. And basically, the goals you set,
Mhm.
uh, plugging that into your calendar and executing. And so every day there's affirmations, there's goals, there's reflection. All right, what did I accomplish? You need to reward yourself. What did I did not accomplish? What did I learn?
Mhm.
What got in the way? So on this next day, because I'm planning tomorrow tonight, and whatever I put on there tonight, I'm going to hit the ground running tomorrow.
Okay.
And so whatever I didn't accomplish and whatever got in the way, then I find a solution for that now.
Mhm.
Put that on there. That I'm not going to let this happen, that happen. You learn from your mistakes because a fool never learned.
Mhm.
My mom didn't raise no fool. All right. And so it is actually a lot of times people repeat the same thing because they forget. And I tell people to be conscious or never, or become conscious or never become at all. You will never become what you want if you don't remain conscious of it. And the way to remain conscious is to write that thing down and get in the habit of viewing it every day. Keep it here
Mhm.
because you will be distracted.
I think my whole thing is because I feel like you kind of stepping on my toes because it's a lot.
It's
It's
discipline.
yeah. For me is I feel like I kind of neglect myself because I feel like I set these goals for myself, and I do, and I'm starting to work on, like, I have my goal, what I'm saying, and I'm right now I put what I'm, my goal to the side because I wanted to get the education to make sure my foundation was good enough so it wouldn't crumble. Because I was one of the ones where I wanted something and I went out and I got it done,
Mhm.
but I felt like I was moving too fast and it wasn't getting done the way it's supposed to. So I wanted to get the knowledge on how to make it grow. And I wanted to fully know what I wanted out of it.
Mm.
So I went and I started getting the education on it, and I got the motivation and I got the back end, and now it's manifesting, but I feel like um I'm neglecting other things because I feel like other stuff is more important. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of them things where I'm doing this too, but I know I need to kind of push it a little bit because it's something more important that has to be done
Oh
right
well,
now.
I wish I had my book in front of me. There's a diagram that I have where you make everything fit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, like, there's some things that people say, well, I thought you wanted to do this. Yeah, that's still here, but it's back here. There's certain things, so it's all components, and anything that don't fit, I eliminate.
Mhm.
If it's gonna take me out of my way, this is not part of. And so when you know what you want, when you wrote that down, when you have mapped it out,
Mhm.
you can really plug whatever you want in, and you can see what that requires. So there's another thing I teach called the vision formula.
Mhm.
It's the management of time. It's the management of capital. It's the management of resources, and it's the management of goals.
Mhm.
And so a lot of things I wasn't able to take advantage of because of my mismanagement of my funds,
Mhm.
and therefore I was distracted by so many things that took my money to where I was not able to reach my goal, my purpose. All right. When it came to my resources,
Mhm.
I failed. Oh my goodness. When I started looking at the people in my life,
Mhm.
there were certain connections that I should have been nurturing that would have gotten me there faster.
Mhm.
And I was not intentional with the people I met. And so even the management of resources, I tell people that everything you need is already there.
Mhm.
You cannot act on anything you're not conscious of. You have not spent enough of time working this out. You want to go, you want to do, you want to, like, you need time in order to give birth
Mhm.
instead of having what do you call it when a
Mhm.
baby dies? Stillbirth.
Mhm.
Yes. So in my book, I talk about that too, how a lot of people have stillbirths. And it's because they fail to nurture that seed. They they got distracted. They didn't make the connections. And it's all because they didn't write it down first. There's power in writing it down. I tell
Mhm.
them, if you can't do something as simple as writing it down, good luck.
Mhm.
Good luck on the bigger things. Yeah.
I, we can talk about it after
Yeah.
because I want to talk to you in detail about it, but I'll wait till after we're done.
All right.
What has been your most memorable speaking engagement so far?
Well, you know what? It's not even on the stage. It was it was on the job. I remember I worked in furniture, and uh, Lee Industries, they were having a meeting, and everybody was happy. All the big wigs were there and everything, and they were celebrating because of the millions they done made. And
Mhm.
um, we got to the meeting, and the other employees, they were talking about all this, and I looked at them. I said, "We not even get no bonus. We ain't get no." Listen, they gave us a little pizza party, and the stuff started coming to me. Then I'm like, man, when they was talking about the owner or even the owner's son, they couldn't get in touch with him. He's playing golf and everything. We're making him these millions. We're making it like. but we doing all the work. And I turned around to my coworker and I said, we slaves. And he was like, I ain't no slave. I said, listen, I said, imagine this. At the door is the master with the whip. One whip is your mortgage. Another whip is your light bill. Another whip is your car note. Another whip. I said, listen, you will not leave because you'll get whipped with all that. Because debt is slavery.
Oh my goodness.
Debt is slavery. And they will get you. I'm going to tell you, it's a system. Even when you start to get your credit right, they start sending you all these credit cards and all this stuff because they want you to be a slave. And they're fine print with the 30%, 60% interest or whatever. They got something that's higher than that. You know, and they know that you're short-sighted, that you lack vision. You don't see the big picture. All you want to do is solve now. And they take advantage of that. You know, I don't even like dealing with desperate people. You know, if they come to me and they want money, I'm like, I will not do that while you're desperate, because you'll tell me anything. You don't even know how you're gonna pay this back. If I give it to them, it's because, you know, I don't expect it back. In fact, I learned how to always say yes. I had a cousin that always came to me and I was helping him, but I found out I wasn't helping him. And so one day he came to me and he needed I think it was about $75. And I said, no problem, man. I got you. I said, well, only one circumstance. He said, what's that? He said, you have to give me your card. Let me know what day you get paid and everything. And I might help you manage this. And he was like, nah. He said, nah, I'm good. And I said, well, just remember, I got you. I learned how to say yes every time and let them say no, because they don't want the help. They want the handout. It's wisdom, man. Perception changes everything. I don't even know if I answered your question, but I probably answered and went on to a tantrum.
What message do you hope readers take away from your readings?
That you're capable, you are powerful. Your only weakness is not knowing who you are. You are a king, you are a queen. You have just been dethroned. The only way you're going to get back on that throne is to know your why, your purpose. I believe that every king need a vision for his kingdom. Every queen need a vision for her kingdom. You know, and that's why I tell people, before you step into these other worlds, get your world together. You know what you want. Put together that plan, sit down with yourself and put together that GPS, because every step you have is a direction, and you want to make sure that you go in the right direction.
Was there a part of the project that was hardest for you to share?
Of the what?
Your project, your book, your writings.
So this second one is going to be more personal. This first book I didn't put my personal life in it. Even though it was the steps I took to be free, I was just sharing principles and knowledge that would free anyone. But the next book that I'm working on is going to actually talk about my struggle and me becoming who I am today and the process it took. The greatest challenge you're going to have is there's one chapter in my book that talks about the beast, the emotion, the beast called emotion. And to summarize the book is the man on the journey, woke but distracted. He gets tired of walking in circles. He then he climbs this mountain and receive what I call components division. Basically, he learned what he needs to do to change his fate. When he came down from the mountain, all right, there's a jungle. He found a place in the jungle and he make it his oasis. So he turned it to, and that jungle or the oasis is really he becomes the gardener, and he's taking up the weeds and everything. So it's things that's in your life that is hindering you from, so you preparing the ground to plant your garden. You cut off certain people, you cut off certain like negativity, all those things that will hurt what you're about to give birth to.
Okay.
And after he prepared the ground, he meets someone. She is attracted to that garden, and that person he meets is what I call the subconscious. So this is the conscious you who got this wisdom and start implementing it. And whenever you started fixing things, here comes your other half.
The distraction.
No,
Oh,
the subconscious.
Okay.
The female factor. So remember I said you got a male factor and a female factor. The male factor is your conscious, the conscious self. It's me and you talking right now, but there's a part of you that I don't know. And that's the female factor in you, your subconscious. This is what that keeps up with your habits, your emotion, all that. Yeah. So he meets her. Then they start talking about what they want. All right. He has to become one with her in order to defeat what's to come.
Okay.
And so becoming one with self, instead of me wanting this, but doing the exact opposite because of my bad habits, we agree to work together to make this happen. So I correct her when she wants to go to that refrigerator, and I said we on a diet. I have to correct her. I gotta. And so what happens is when we decided to become one, you find out in the story that she had someone entertaining her, and it's the beast. So the beast is upset that you have taken the one that was keeping him, company, and you have turned his jungle into your paradise. And the beast is called emotion. Even though y'all have agreed how you feel, you got to work to overcome how you feel. And because your emotions is going to try to break up that union. Once you learn how to tame the emotion, and so in that chapter, I teach you how to tame the emotion. Then now you became one with self. You put the beast under subjection. And the last chapter is the throne. It is where you sit on your throne, finally worthy to sit on your throne. And beside you, she stands. And on the other side, the beast stands. And now you project whatever you want into reality.
Because you balanced them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you overcame that eternal warfare to where whatever you want, you know how to make it happen.
You know what? You probably just answered my next question. How do you balance personal storytelling with giving practical advice in your writings?
Yeah.
That was the answer right there.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, like when I tell them I wrote a book, they wasn't really inspired to buy the book until I told them the story. And the power of story, because I have a lot of principles. And when I first started writing, that's what it was. It was just things I've learned. But then as I wrote it, I'm like, man, I don't know how this happened, but I automatically saw the man that woke but distracted the traveler, a man that just started walking. That's what we do in life. We just started walking. Where are you going? We just wandering. We got a lot of wonders. Yeah. I'm like, what do you want to do the next 5 years? I don't know. You haven't thought about that? You're wondering. You're just drifting through life. And then the next one was he got tired of just wandering. And I need purpose. I need a vision. I need a goal. And so at the mountaintop, when he received that, it's like he's ready to now go down. And the first thing he have to work on is this. And when you work on that, you start attracting. You start attracting. I'm gonna tell you, if you a mess, you're gonna attract a mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the when he attracted the other half, and he had enough of discipline through components division, it's talking about building discipline to where he can correct her. And then they can really benefit one another, because he need her. He cannot fight this beast without her. He'll get devoured. Our emotions will destroy us if we're double-minded.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about being double-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So learning yourself enough to be disciplined and then tame the beast. And with emotion, when you redirect it, man, don't make him mad, because you tell him he can't do it. Oh, you done got the beast mad. Yeah. And he gonna make it happen. The beast used to work against him, but now works for him.
Yeah. If you could leave readers with one lasting message today, what would it be?
One lasting message.
One lasting message.
Don't give up. Don't give up. And just pay attention. Like, I think a lot of people, they miss their lesson. You have to learn. Like, my mistakes, I had to learn from them. And regardless of my past, it really, I learned how to bury things, and I learned how to, like, a lot of stuff I still don't remember. I don't even care to remember. What does it have to do with my future? And the things I do remember, the mistakes I've made and everything, I've already fixed those things. And don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
You know, because without my failures, I would not have the lessons. They said L is not a loss; it's a lesson. You know, it's what made me stronger. It's what made me resilient. And so I would tell them, don't give up. Don't give up. Every time you fall down, get back up. I let people know that you are on the other side of failure. You're wiser. You're stronger. You know. But you have to allow that old man to die. Yeah. You have to bury some things, you know, in order to live that new life. And so I let people know, like, when they bring up stuff, I think the only thing that make me cry is when I tap into my child. I sometimes cry when I talk about not having a father, and I talk about how I felt as a child. It usually brings tears to my eyes, because I feel sorry for that child. And that's why I'm so just passionate about going into the schools, and because I know there's a lot of broken homes. It is. There's a lot of it. And I want them to know that it's possible. Like, no matter where you come from, it's not what happened to you, it's what you do about it.
Yeah. It's a lot of broken homes. It's a lot of homes that are only together for the kids, but are very miserable.
Yeah.
And not seeing that these kids are miserable because they know you're miserable.
Yeah.
Like, I used to work in the school system. I worked at 2 middle schools. And the stuff that these kids used to come in and talk to me about early in the morning, like, you just woke up and got on a bus and got here. You went through all of that already. It's sad, and it's a lot. It's a lot though. So we need those people to come in and speak and let them know that they, somebody cares.
And everybody don't listen, but the one that does, you know, if you wouldn't have came, they would have failed with the rest of them. Like, and I learned that you can't help everyone. Yeah. You only can help those who are willing to help themselves.
Yep. And at least try to save one. At least that's it right there.
And equipped him to save one. And we're gonna save more than
that's a chain reaction.
Yes. together.
That's that each one teach one.
Yes.
I learned that.
And that's why I can't keep all this in. Like the more wisdom I get, I just got to get it out, you know. So that's why I'm calling the schools. That's why I'm, you know, you like, you do podcasts, hey, because I got to get out there. If somebody, if they catches somebody and it changed their life, man, that's all I want.
Yeah,
is to give people hope, because hope was given to me.
Yeah, and hope helped you.
Yes.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. You definitely left a message here. You definitely left a message here for me, myself also. So I do appreciate you for that. And we're gonna try to get into these schools.
Yes.
We definitely gonna try to get into these schools. Thank you everyone for listening. I do have one announcement. We have a family day event coming up. This Saturday, August 30th from 5 to 9. It's a free event for the whole entire family. There'll be horseback riding, outdoor games, live music, face painting, and interactive games. It's at Heights Brewery, 1030 Woodward Avenue. Remember, it's from 5 to 9, so come on out with the kids. Come wear these kids out before they go back to school. And enjoy some connected family fun. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening, and as always, stay connected.
Are you a content creator looking for a home for your movies, TV shows, podcasts, or more?